Ricky Swanell alongside me, Philippa Tsatiet. What wins it? What wins the final for the United States?
Oh gosh, for the United States, well, hey, take a little bit of that attitude in the last game against Australia that they won just 10-7 and add a bit more as well, because this New Zealand team on a 35-game winning streak, their 9th consecutive cup final. This has been their season, but hey, it's cup final. Anything can happen.
The USA in the white, New Zealand in the black. The last final of the 2023 HSBC Women's World 7 Series. We are off in Toulouse. Elena Olsen. Big, deep breaths, precise motions, accuracy key as she drives this low and hard and into the arms of Cheddar Ember. Perfect kickoff from the United States. And they get the chance to attack. Here is Olsen, who put it on the button early on. Oh, and a little step as well. Finds Cedric on her outside shoulder. Gets up, goes again. Lays back for Olsen. And in the thick of things, Naya Tapper, who won it for them in the semi-final. That's knocked off a New Zealand hand. It'll be a penalty, and it's going to be a yellow card. Is it against Sarah Hiddeny, the New Zealand captain? Ball knocked off the arm, and she sits down for 2 minutes.
You got to be so careful when you put that arm out. Yeah, that's clearly in the passing channel. That's the right call.
Interesting to note for the United States, no Kayla Kinnett, one of their key game drivers, injured out of this final. So a lot more on the likes of Olsen, Cedric, and the vastly experienced Lauren Doyle.
Bind. Sit.
New Zealand down to 6 players in the opening 40 seconds. Away it comes for the skipper, Tapper. Trying to use her speed and then her strength and just accelerating away from the New Zealand defence. Naya Tapper, captain, leads from the front.
Well, Naya Tapper got the message. Bring that intensity that you brought against Australia. She got the winning try in that game, and she opens up the try scoring here on this final. Just backed her pace, testing. She knew that they had the overlap, but in the end, they didn't need it. She just backed herself on those extra gaps, took the slice.
Loved on the side by Alev Kelter, waiting for her injection to the game. When the USA won the France Sevens in 2019, Kelter was a key figure. This woman's been a key figure in everything the USA has done this weekend. All-time leading try scorer, Naya Tapper. United States' last cup final win came in Malaga, January last year, as Nathan Wong makes a hash of that kickoff, and it's more ball for the USA. What a start, just what they needed. And away they come again through Doyle. Olsen with room to roam. New Zealand's defence still stretched with 6. Here's Cedric, can't get around side. Kaka, as it's laid back for Olsen, really quick, recycled. Doyle almost through the gap. Oh, stolen in the blink of an eye by Georgia Miller. It was almost nonchalant. And now New Zealand, having absorbed some of that pressure, finally got some ball in hand of their own as Woodman Whitcliffe goes into heavy contact. Bodies falling everywhere. Kaka eventually will pick herself up off the ground to play halfback. Miller. New Zealand still with 6. Oh, clever little kick from Poldy Lane. How's the bounce? Not good enough. And Kirshe was right awake to the threat. Brilliant work and cover from Kristi Kirshe. Doyle.
Tackle.
Stopped in her tracks on the 10-metre line. USA have been full of running, really threatening in these opening stages with New Zealand still having the captain in the bench. Or Cedric's taken a tumble and very sore on that left ankle. New Zealand trying to blow through. Tapper has done just enough.
Tackle, release.
They needed someone to play halfback. Eventually, Cedric had to hobble her way back into the fray. Here's Ember. Can't get past Nathan Wong, clinging on around the ankles, clamped on. Maintaining possession if they haven't made ground. Here's Kirshe, though, always makes meters up the middle. Doyle was on the shoulder, cover defence. Coming across is good from Nathan Wong once more. Olsen is Tapper, paws forward. One-on-one with Kaka, look to get the arms free. Made a wise decision, though, Naya Tapper, to hold on to the ball. Doyle, here's Doyle, and then the switch for Sullivan. New Zealand having to make a boatload of tackles in these opening minutes.
Advantage.
Kirshe goes herself, got caught in a tangle, then threw a whopping dummy, which everybody bought. And Kristi Kirshe, one of USA's consistent best, gets their second try.
Yeah, New Zealand really suffering with that player down, just not quite getting their defensive lineup ready. And you see here now, there's a ruck situation, and just watch Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe. She realises how much she's got on the outside edge to try and cover, and sort of gambles and goes a little bit too early. But Kirshe was completely savvy to it.
This opening 4 minutes of the final 3 or 5 minutes has been all the United States, and they've punished New Zealand. 2 tries while Sarah Hirini was in the sin bin. Back out there now into the full complement. And the Kiwis, but they have got a long road to come back.
Time on. Let's go.
Lev Kelter's gone out there for the United States. That's because Cedric's no good on that ankle. So a little short on numbers, the US team. They try the same tactic. It goes straight down to Miller, untouched. So New Zealand, who have just been down here the entire time as Sheree Kaka tries to get away. Pody Lane holds on just. It's knocked back for Miller, and it's going to be, double jeopardy the other way. This time it's Elena Olsen. Almost action replay of what happened to New Zealand.
Now, the important thing is how much can New Zealand punish the USA. That card is going to stretch into the second half as well.
Oh, I know it's the rule, but it's so tough, so tough. USA, the defence has been so miserly throughout the season as they've been on the podium on numerous occasions. Waaka with a step, and then the acceleration looks to explode through another gap. Offload is there for Kaka. They keep it alive through the hands. Here's Miller. And now Pody Lane stretching across for Hirini. She's got her old mate Woodman-Whitcliffe with her. Goes to Portia. Woodman-Whitcliffe and Tapper one-on-one, and the inside ball. Hirini ducking in underneath. USA being stretched now as New Zealand come forward for the first time. Miller, the clever little flick for Nathan Wong, and then there's got to be some space somewhere, and Nathan Wong's the player to find it for Stacey Waaka, and New Zealand respond.
Brilliant response from New Zealand. The key thing to that is the quality of their passing accuracy. They can stand so far away from one another, which just stretches the defensive line, especially when you're a player down. But they know they've got the quality of skills to back themselves to make those passes. They test on the outside edge. Ball retention here is absolutely key. Sarah Hirini using her contact skills to get that ball back. But there, those massive passes put in, it just opens up an already stretched defence.
Stacey Waaka gets one back for New Zealand. Yellow cards for both teams proving very costly. Kicks away, it's still the US with a 14-5 lead. That's not going to go 10 metres, it's barely going to go 5. So a mistake by the New Zealanders. United States, a team that have in the past really rattled the Kiwis. I do think back to that Biarritz final in 2019 where they just had them all ends up. Eddie Gustaitis part of that side.
Okay. Scrum option, please.
It's such an error for New Zealand, because just look at the clock, how it's winding down here. This is perfect for USA.
Let's go.
It's allowed Elena Olsen to get back out there as well from the sin bin.
Crouch. Bind.
And they set the scrum on halfway, which will be fed
Set
by Olsen, who's got Nathan Wong all over her like a backpack.
Play on.
And then it's scooped away, lost by Hirini though, as it came out for New Zealand. Advantage played the US way after the knock-on. It's Rivetti out there now in jersey 10 for the US. Ember on the wraparound with Sullivan. Oh, couldn't quite link back up with Sullivan to Ember. She may have been away, and now it's Tapper's turn to lose control. But a penalty conceded. New Zealand off their feet.
Off feet, slowed the ball down
Initially,
first.
I thought Sarah Herney was in a really good position. I think she came off with the contact of the area, but still off feet.
The USA go to half-time with a handy lead over New Zealand in the final. It's the US 14, New Zealand 5. Apologies for language. Finals time in Toulouse. Argentina against New Zealand in the men's decider coming up. Right now it is the women, it's half time. And it's the USA leading 14 points to 5. Back underway off the boot of Tyler Nathan Wong, sending down into the watery sunshine above. There's Ember.
You stepped off, play on.
Kirshe, try scorer in that first half. Really good solo effort.
Let go.
Rivetti.
Second attempt.
The USA, their second final of the season. Away goes Kirshe again, having a big impact on this one, as she did a few months back. Just dragged down by Kakaron halfway. Poldy Lane trying to get in over there. Now loses her feet, so it's USA ball for Thomas to clear.
Right.
Oh, that's gone fired in front of Kelter and breaks down for the US.
Standing way too deep as well. That was not the time to be 10, 15 minutes behind the gay line. They needed to be up flat to really expose that spacing on the outside.
Don't have to come from behind very often this season.
Okay, time on.
New Zealand. Poldy Lane. Miller goes wide for Waaka. Oh, the step, the footwork, and now the strength as Ember eventually drags down Stacey Waaka. She's put New Zealand back on the front foot. Across they go for Nathan Wong. Poldy Lane steps out of one. And then change of direction, switch back in field for Nathan Wong. The US defence is splintered, and Felix-Hotham will cut a track straight up the middle to get the Kiwis back into it.
Lovely bit of interplay there. You can tell so many of these players have come from a touch footy background, because that's exactly the type of movement you'd see on a touch footy field. Just manipulating hips, making people turn, constantly having runners back against the grain. Really lovely bit of interplay, completely opened up the defensive line.
All of a sudden, New Zealand have closed that gap right up, 14-12 now. USA dominating that first half. The Kiwis strike first in the second.
USA leads 14-12.
Some interested observers. Tim Nunai-Williams in there. All Black Sevens player himself in the middle. Jack Willis. England start. Lots of players in Toulouse. Seni Naupu, Island International, in the front giving us a wave. And I tell you what, you want a friend like that blonde-haired lady. That's Niall Williams, one of her besties, who surprised her to come over. AC Amy Courtney. USA trying to get some control back in this match. Olsen's been good for them so far, but oh, look, Lord Nathan Wong, great clear out by Thomas. Shot coming on from Poldy Lane has put US under massive pressure, but just did enough for Rivetti. I'm not sure how she's protected that ball. Olsen's going to drop right back into the pocket here. Instead, it's Kelter with a little pick and go, a rumble out of trouble. And now running it out from their own goal line. It is risky stuff, but Olsen's done a good job. Where Woodman-Whitcliffe wanted an extra roll, referee said no. She was dragged over. This time Nathan Wong's got in there and stolen it. They ran the risk, the US. New Zealand wanting to dictate now. They tap and go on the 5 metre line. Hirini wide for Waaka. You'd think, has she got the, yeah, of course she's got the step. She's got the Waaka whack. And she's put New Zealand in front.
All comes from that defensive pressure. USA just could not exit. It was the right idea to have a couple of carries, but you've got to be there. You've got to support that initial player, making sure that ball comes back. New Zealand getting that key turnover. Simple hands. And then just let Stacey Waaka do Stacey Waaka things.
So New Zealand from 14-0 down, now ahead 19 points to 14. It's all on the US. Can they find a response?
And now New Zealand leads 19-14.
Soaring high as Waaka. Doyle overcooked it, but it's knocked on by Miller. Chance here now for the United States team to get themselves back into it.
Advantage over.
New Zealand have really steeled themselves as we head into under 2 minutes to play now. Kelter spin and hit, and round she goes and can't go through Poldy Lane. Sullivan comes together with Hirini, and that will help, as it's been a grind to get out of this 22 area.
Roll the white. Scrum option, please.
USA got to strike that fine balance between remaining composed, don't rush things, don't force things, but equally got to be so aware of that clock time is ticking.
Well, we saw in their semi-final when they were behind.
Crouch.
A big strike weapon was Naya Tapper to win it for them and put them into this position. They have got that ability to break out.
Bind.
Emily Bidwell watching on. What a wonderful job she's done with this team in her first season as head coach. Kelter. No way through there for New Zealand. Kirshe. Hirini wanted it, didn't get the call her way. Now they might have created a little bit of space here. Doyle trying to get Tapper some room and use that pace and power, but Woodman-Whitcliffe up to it. Doyle again. It's a wild ball for Thomas, and now they're tracking back, and New Zealand will look to pressure on here through Miller. Penalty will help.
Roll away, please.
It'll help, but USA got to go. They need something quick.
A lot of hands on knees. New Zealand's black wall of defence just waiting. Almost like you shall not pass. USA got to find something here.
Okay.
One.
Let's go.
One hurt.
Crouch.
That is the full-time siren.
Bind.
USA will have to go 95 metres against the series champions-elect. They have the ability to do it, and so does this woman in particular. Here's a Lev Kelter. Can't get her outside Felix-Hotham. It's there for Tapper. Kirshe chopped down in a Poldy Lane special. Kelter is pressing, probing. As long as they've got the ball, they've still got hope, the US. Kirshe. Oh, Thomas loses control. Backwards it goes, and it's done. Another title for New Zealand. Another final's gone their way. They did this one the hard way.
Sorry, it's a penalty.
But lock-up trophy number 6 for the season. The overall World Series title is theirs. A 33rd title in their history. The Blackburn Sevens are imperious. New Zealand 19, USA 14. The Blackburn Sevens champions in Toulouse once more.